So let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself here, because I'm going to be honest as well. Have you ever told someone that you are a magician, and almost instantly they say, huh, amazing, do a trick. In that exact moment, something very strange happens. It does with me. Your mind, the same mind that has spent years learning sleights, studying theory, buying books, downloading lectures, practicing moves until your fingers ache, your mind just quietly steps out of the room, buggers off, as they say, so places. It's not that you forget one trick. It's not that you're a little rusty. It's more like a total system shutdown. You know magic. You know your practice. You know that you own more material than any reasonable person should, meaning in bottom drawers. And yet, standing there with people watching, you've got absolutely nothing. If this has happened to you, then genuinely, you are this person who this book is for. Today, I want to talk about The Intuitive Magician by Justin Higham, and one of those rare magic books that doesn't teach you a single new trick, but instead calmly and sometimes uncomfortably explains why you are falling apart when it actually matters. And honestly, reading it feels equal parts comforting, confronting, and also a little bit insulting. Because at a big picture level, the book is asking a very uncomfortable question. Why is it that magicians who know loads of magic struggle so badly in impromptu situations? Why can you rehearse for hours alone and be completely fluent, but the second someone unexpectedly asks you to perform, everything disappears? Higham answer is simple and slightly brutal. Most magicians are training the wrong part of their mind, apparently. We're very good at training the intellectual brain. We drill steps, sequences, routines, structure, theory, the list goes on. We analyze methods, we refine scripts, we categorize techniques, but live performance doesn't happen in the neat intellectual space. And when pressure hits, the intellectual brain is usually the first thing to shut down, which, when you hear it put like that, explains a lot. Early in the book, he talks about something called performance paralysis. That's horrible spotlight sensation when your hands suddenly feel unfamiliar, your breathing sounds too loud, time seems to stretch, and you become hyper aware that everyone is looking at you because you need to perform. You're not even into the trick yet, and you already feel like you're doing something wrong. He compares it to athletes getting the yips. So your body knows what to do, your hands absolutely know what to do, but your thinking brain barges in and starts interfering. And the cruel twist is that the harder you try to think your way out of it, the worse it gets, which of course is exactly what most of us do. That leads into one of the central themes of the book: intellect versus intuition, or versus intuition, if I can say the words correctly. Now, this isn't the anti-intelligent rant. Higham is clearly analytical and extremely well-read, but he makes a strong case that intellect is a terrible leader during live performance. If you've ever tried to consciously think about how you walk or how you type in a keyboard, you already know that quickly your mind awareness makes things clumsy. So magic works the exact same way. The moment that you start narrating your own actions in your head, okay, now double lift, don't flash, relax your hands, act natural, you've already disrupted the flow. Nothing destroys naturalness faster than trying to be natural on purpose. The moment that you start narrating your own actions in your head, so, okay, now double lift, don't flash, relax your hands, act natural, you've already disrupted the flow. Nothing destroys naturalness faster than trying to be natural on purpose. Another section that really lands is where he talks about memory versus learning. So Higham argues that many magicians don't truly learn magic, they memorize it, which is sort of true. And memorized information doesn't survive adrenaline very well. And that's why you can perform flawlessly when you're relaxed at home, but under pressure, it feels like the knowledge is locked behind a door you suddenly don't have the key for. The material hasn't vanished, it's just inaccessible. The book, it keeps returning to this idea that the real learning happens through experience and not storage, which is slightly frustrating because experience is one thing that you can't fast track. You can't download it, you can't add a shortcut to it, you have to go through with it and perform and get that experience. There's also another fascinating section on rapport, and this is where the book starts to feel less like a manual for magic and more like a study of human interaction. Higham compares impromptu magic to conversation. Good conversation, it isn't scripted. You're not mentally preparing each response the 3 sentences ahead. You're present, you're reacting, and you're listening. And when magic works at its best, it operates exactly the same way. The moment that you try to deliberately apply rapport techniques, running checklists in your head, people can feel it. It's like when someone mirrors your posture just a little too obviously, and you suddenly think, why are you sitting like me? Real rapport happens when you're genuinely there, not when you're performing rapport. And here is the idea that quietly runs through the entire book. Improvisation isn't something that you do after you've mastered magic. Improvisation is how you master magic. Mistakes aren't proof that you're bad, they are training. Forgetting what comes next and still find a way through, that's training as well. Awkward stage moments, awkward moments with close-up, strange reactions, bad lighting, noisy environments, that's where the real understanding develops. It's a very comforting idea that right up until you realize it means that you can't avoid those moments anymore. So far in a review, it's a hard book to review, I think, because it's not like specific things of this and this that you have, certain routines that you learn, so you can say, oh yeah, those are good routines, this. It's more about the understanding and intellectual part of magic and performing, as in, like, you can't sit down, write an entire script for a routine, perform that routine flawlessly, following every single line in the script. You sometimes have to deviate, depending on the audience, the situation. If there's sort of something that happens, someone spills a drink, whatever, that disrupts your performance. So therefore, it's all about trying to get used to it and going on from there, learn from mistakes and continuing. So it's hard to write a specific review based on if it's a good book for routines, but I think for getting you thinking and getting your mind working as to how you can improve as a magician with different elements, then this is something that's in the book, I think. So who is the book actually for? If you're brand new to magic and you're looking for tricks, this might feel like you're being handed a psychology lecture when you ask for a coin vanish. But if you freeze when asked to perform, if you overthink constantly, if you feel far better in practice than you do in performance with real people, and if you've ever walked away thinking, I swear I'm better than that, then this book is speaking directly to you, especially if you're the kind of magician who analyzes everything, thinks deeply, and then quickly beats yourself up when things don't go perfectly. This is a fair warning though about the book, is it's not a light, breezy read. It's dense, it's reflective, it's philosophical, and you don't binge it. I sat with it and read a section, and then you think about it, and then you read some more, and that feels quite appropriate, because what it offers isn't a quick fix or a clever shortcut, it's an explanation. Sometimes understanding why you struggle, it's more valuable than learning another trick that you'll forget the moment that your heart rate spikes. So final thought on the intuitive magician: won't make you instantly confident, it won't remove nerves, it won't hand you the perfect opener for every social situation. What it will do is change how you understand performance, how you understand fear, learning, pressure, and improvisation. And if you've ever felt like your brain betrays you at the worst possible moment, then this book might actually finally help you realize that it's not because you were bad at magic, it's simply because you've been training the wrong part of the brain. If you've read it, I'd love to know your thoughts on it, and if you haven't, but everything we've talked about here felt uncomfortably familiar, it might be worth your time getting this book and having a read. Like I said, you don't learn any tricks from it, but it's more sort of to do with your brain and learning things about yourself as a person, I suppose, and as a performing magician. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that review. Like I said, it was a bit hard to do this review on the book because it's not something you can pick up, learn a trick and go from there. It's something that I've read since I've got it, so it's like weeks into it now and still finding little bits and bobs that's quite interesting to learn about and read and sort of be reactive thinking to. But yeah, that's the review. If you're interested in more magic reviews, especially books, I'm sort of to get more back into those. I've got a big massive range there that I need to go through and read, and there's so many hidden gems in the book, so it's interesting to pick those up and sort of go through. If you're interested in those, there should be some other reviews on the screen now, so if you want to check out other magic reviews, check those out. But until next time, see ya.